We are built for this network, for the strong, not the weak.
It's your boy D Greatest from South Central. Tune in on Sunday for Sunday Night Love Jones, 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And on Mondays for Monday Night Love Jones, 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for good music, good conversation, and good vibes. It's all about the love. Yeah, man.
Greetings, brothers and sisters, family and friends. I'm your minister of wellness. Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. And I've done a 12-part series on some of the 6 of the most powerful superfoods that you must consume every single day. Greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. And I want to highlight mushrooms just as another reminder to eat your mushrooms. You have to cook them, though. They contain a slight toxin called agaritine. Do not consume raw mushrooms, brothers and sisters. Today is Sunday, October 25th. We're open 2 p.m., 7 p.m. for your free health assessment. So call us 888-847-8026 for your free health assessment. 888-847-8026, 2 p.m., 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Regular mushroom consumption can lead to a 17% lower risk of prostate cancer, according to a team of researchers at a school of public health in Japan. The lead author and doctoral student noted that the cancer-fighting effects of mushrooms appeared to be more significant in men aged 50 and older. Dean Ornish also showed this. Yes, Dean Ornish, he used the power of nutrition, and he's shown that even advanced prostate cancer, brothers, can be reversed. Of course, you don't want to have prostate cancer in the first place, but it can be reversed. That said, they clarified that the team did not collect information on specific mushroom species as such and did not elucidate the molecular mechanisms behind mushrooms' cancer-fighting effects, but I've already done that in the Power of the G-Bombs on my part on mushrooms. This is just a reminder. I have some very important announcements, brothers and sisters, for the last week in October. Please bear with me for a few minutes. This Saturday is your final opportunity in 2020 to hear me speak for free. To attend in person, you must RSVP at femalecastration.eventbrite.com. That's femalecastration.eventbrite.com. For everyone else, to get the link to view the private live stream, simply register your email for the daily recipes I email Monday through Friday, including Friday desserts. That registration link is in the description box and pinned comment section, or you can visit theministerofwellness.com and a pop-up box to enter your email will appear. This is the final week I'm accepting health coaching clients in 2020. I have a few openings left in this final week, so call 888-847-8026 and book your consultation. I look forward to helping you finish 2020 on a strong note. That's 888-847-8026. Make sure you tune in this Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, brothers and sisters, for my 2-hour birthday special for our Wellness Wednesday live Q&A to celebrate another year of life. I'll be giving away a special discount code for my organic Irish sea moss and immune support supplements. Make sure you're on the email list so you'll be notified of when I'm live this Wednesday. Now, I do have 24 bags of organic heavy metal tested Irish sea moss available. I could ship it out to you tomorrow for those who don't want to wait until Wednesday. Remember, you can get as many as you need for yourself and your loved ones as we approach a medical dictatorship. The ministerofwellness.com online store. That's the ministerofwellness.com online store. That's the only place you can find the Minister of Wellness approved supplements or you can always call 888-847-8026. That's 888-847-8026, the minister of wellness.com. To see if mushrooms are potent against prostate cancer, that's the second most common cancer among older men. The team looked at data of 36,000 men between the ages of 40 and 79 for a period of 13.2 years. Each participant had been a part of a cohort study in 1990 and 1994. Upon analysis of the pooled data from both cohorts, they found that 3.3% of the participants had incidence of prostate cancer based on responses from the questionnaire regarding their medical histories and their eating, smoking, and drinking habits. It also appeared that mushroom consumption is inversely related to incident prostate cancer. In particular, participants who ate regular mushrooms once or twice a week had an 8% lower risk of prostate cancer. Those who ate mushrooms more than 3 times a week, that jumped up to an incredible 17%. These are lives, brothers and sisters, being affected by just one of the medicine foods of God. Remember, when I do these videos, remember the insane pea-brain food zombies always whine and complain that cry that there's nothing to eat, and that I'm telling them just to eat grass or the air. And now we have some of them fools are seeping onto my channel and trying to leave those type of ridiculous, toxic commentary on my social media pages, and that will absolutely not be allowed. And moderators don't allow that either. Furthermore, they noted that the effects have been especially pronounced in men aged 50 or older, or men whose diets consisted of low vegetable and fruit intake, behind meat and dairy. So the worse of a eating style you have, the more effects they see when you introduce the medicine foods of God. But again, they were unable to collect information on what specific mushroom species were involved, so they could not specify, but it's all of them. It's all of them. Even the cheap white button mushrooms are excellent at protecting against cancer. Japan has one of the longest life expectancies on Earth. For the most part, scientists speculate that this might be attributed to the long list of health foods and ingredients that are staples in their cuisine. For instance, mushrooms are a hallmark in the traditional Japanese diet and is a key to their longevity. It's one of the most popular ingredients in Japan. Mushrooms and fungi, either fresh or dried, are often used in other East Asian cuisines too, including China and Korea. Numerous mushroom species are common ingredients in herbal remedies used in traditional Chinese medicine and other ancient forms of medicine. For this reason, it should come as no surprise that mushrooms are fast becoming a topic of interest in modern science. You have the reishi mushrooms, the shiitake mushrooms. They're potent, not only for cancer, but blood pressure, bronchitis, diabetes. Yes, there are also reports of reishi being utilized as a cancer-fighting substance. In fact, a recent article published in the journal Anti-Cancer Agents in Medicinal Chemistry found that reishi can stimulate immune cells such as macrophages, dendritic cells, and natural killer cells to help them rid of pathogens, carcinogens, cancer cells, and other harmful biological agents that can lead to chronic conditions. Test tube trials also demonstrated that reishi is capable of inhibiting the proliferation of mouse skin cancer cells in human bladder and breast cancer cells. Other medicinal mushrooms and fungi purported to possess anti-cancer properties include shiitake, and there are many other medicinal mushrooms. Eat a variety of them, brothers and sisters. This should be the primary information given to people battling all cancers. That's another segment in Let Food Be Thy Medicine, Medicine Be Our Food. It's time to grow our own food. And we have some great tools out there that can help you. And in a time like this, brothers and sisters, it is critically important that you invest in devices that can help you grow food, even if it has to be indoors.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Cooksey, and I am founder of Vested Urban Farms. Now more than ever, we have got to take our healthy back. and growing your own fresh fruits, vegetables, herbs, and flowers is a great way to do that. I'm inviting you to learn more about Tower Gardens. You can grow indoors or outdoors year-round. Tower Gardens are great for families, singles, and kids love them. Contact me today so that we can start growing together.
I've got to keep pushing. I've got to keep going up.
Subscribe, hit that notification bell, like, and share this video to keep up with information on the powerful medicine foods of God and other important news. The ministerofwellness.com online store. I do have a mushroom extract supplement, the Immune Biotech. You can go there and get that, especially for those who have children or you have an aversion to the taste of actual mushrooms, and that's a great substitute. The Immune Biotech, an extraction of 10 different mushrooms. The ministerofwellness.com online store. Of course, I have a variety of other powerful supplements. You can only find the Minister of Wellness labeled and approved supplements on my online store. Also, my books and DVDs, the ministerofwellness.com. 888-847-8026. You need help placing an order. 888-847-8026. Don't forget to call in for your free health assessment. Join our Facebook group. I can be healthy. I will be healthy. I must be healthy. Just search for that on Facebook and join our online community. I'm also on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. You can find me on all social media pages. The more you follow me, the better. The Minister of Wellness. TheMinisterofWellness.com/give. That's the official donation page for Ministry of Wellness, Inc. Please go there and make a tax-deductible donation to help me promote this truth so it can continue to reach and save lives just as you are being saved by the information. Always to donate listed on my official donation page. Also check the description box and pinned comment section. May the Most High richly bless all those who answer the much needed call to give. Eat your G-bombs. Greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. The medicine foods of God.
Yo, this Big Illinois 73, host of the Backyard Podcast, Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time on the Built for This network. Check us out. Hosted by yours truly, with my panel, my fam. We got the sister Kim Webb, the brother Dre MC1, the brother Anuliel, and the brother HRap B. No topic is off limit. We laugh and joke. We get serious. Try to be informative. Check us out. Once again, that's the Backyard Podcast, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. Let's go.
Thank you for tuning in. It's been another glorious week. This is HRap B on Built for This network. This is the End of the Bench, Build and Destroy. As I do, I'll come to you each week. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending upon what time you are listening. This is a podcast, as I say every week. The reason I say that is because there is no such thing as I missed your show. You can come back to Spreaker.com, or you can use any outlet that you download your podcast from This will put you in a situation to whereas you can listen at your leisure time, you can listen while you're waiting in line to vote, you can listen if you're just chilling at the crib. All you have to do is come back to Built for This Network. Look up, go back to Spreaker.com, look up Built for This Network. Look up the shows, and you can find what you want to hear. Or you can go to YouTube, Built for This Network Radio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, or Podcast Addict. And as I stated, you can go to any place that you download your podcast regularly and get the information that you need to continue to tune in. With that being said, as I do every week, I acknowledge my ancestors because the way I was raised. If you acknowledge your ancestors, you send out blessings and respect to them. They send down blessings and protection to you. Anybody who's listening to you. That goes for my ancestors as well as my family who was living. Connected to the Whitmore family, the Pollard family, Turner, Battle, Cotton, Harper, Bailey, Crisp, Lansdowne, Liggins, Duncan. And as I say every week, me and my father, my mother, my brothers, and my sisters, we are the Williams clan. We are in the building at all times. This is an interesting week. The reason I call it an interesting week is because it's the prequel to something, either a world we have replayed. We're going to see things that we've seen, what our ancestors have seen in the past, or we are going to put ourselves in a position to move forward. And if we move forward, we can never look back unless it is for Sankofa reasons. Look it up. Sankofa is part of your history. I'm just here to leave breadcrumbs. Shout out to Dr. Greg Carr. Shout out to Karen Hunter for the continued inspiration. Now, with that being said, we have a lot of work to do. We are in a position that you know what? I don't think we've ever been in this situation. We are putting ourselves, we can either put ourselves in a position of not power, but control. We can put ourselves in a position of control. A lot of people are not engaging civically, and that's your right. I'm not here to preach to you about go vote, go vote, go vote, because I looked at the demographics on my show, and everybody was born from let's say 1982 on back. That means you are extremely adult. And for me to continue to say, hey man, this is what you should do, you know, blah, 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 I'm not going to have that debate anymore. A lot of people are engaged in that debate, and to be perfectly honest with you, I'm tired of having it. I'm only going to engage with people who are attempting to move forward. And if you are attempting to move forward, then we can. If not, I'll see you when you catch up. Because at some point, the alarm may ring at 8 o'clock, but you may not hear it to 8:30, 8:45, or what have you. That does not mean you are excluded from the party. That just means you didn't hear the alarm. And you may have to get, as we say in the head, in the hood, hit in the head one more time. And that's understandable. No. That's all I'm saying. What we are about to embark upon is a situation that Tuesday, either you're going to be in a position to where you can buy yourself more time in the United States of America, or you are going to be looking for your freedom papers far sooner than you thought you would be. A lot of people assume, I'm free, I'm the Emancipation Proclamation, I'm an American citizen, I'm free. But your freedom depends on your employees. And when I say your employees, I mean the people that you elect. Politicians are your employees. They are asking you for a job. Your tax money pays for their jobs. And it's up to you to maintain their lifestyle, whether you realize it or not. So Get a lot of my brothers, sisters, friends, uncles, cousins. They ain't gonna do what you're supposed to do. That's because you're not telling them to. If I will give you a job and give you no instructions on how to do the job, but I still pay you every 2 weeks, and then other people slide me money to do something for them while you're paying me, more than likely, the average person would do the exact same thing. First of all, we are in the midst of a tearing apart of men and women. Men and women cannot do this alone. Most women, you keep hearing these statistics. Most women are in charge. They're opening up businesses, yada, yada, yada. Then you hear the black man is not supporting the woman and yada, yada, yada. And you can fall for that if you like. Everybody has an instance in which you have a deadbeat person in your life, whether it be a spousal example or a family example. You've been let down. I get it. But if you want to fall for this narrative, man, it's people that are not going to support you and, no new friends and men versus women. This is exactly what the people who are in charge of the chaos, that's what they're waiting on. They love it. Jamel Hill compared black men to what they call toxic masculine white men. And what was the purpose of that text? She thought she was speaking towards the Women's Liberation Act. And, we got to stand up, sisters, but you can't stand up, sisters, without us. And then you get the brothers on there. Oh, fuck you. Go to hell. I'm sick of bras like you and all that. And guess what, brothers? It ain't going to work without them. So the funny thing is I've actually lost friends, women who are my friends, because one person I'm thinking of in particular, she told me she's a feminist, which made me immediately think about the feminist movement, suffrage. And for a sister to be talking about suffrage means no matter how intelligent you are, how much information you've obtained, how many quotes you can run back at me, you're not reading deep enough. You're just reading the surface. And that seems to be the prevailing problem in the United States of America today. Everyone reads the headline, no one reads the story. And the reason that's why people, and I'm going to get into that a little later, that's why these damn celebrities are raping us the way they do. Because, okay, oh man, I'm a feminist. But did you read that people like Susan B. Anthony said, yeah, we want our rights, but not the black women? And I'm not here to preach divisiveness. But when you sign, before you read a book, maybe you need to read who the author is. Maybe you need to look up who the author is, because that negative energy that person poured into that book is about to be poured into you. So if there's some stuff that sounds real good to you on the surface, guess what? Read the book. Find out who this person was before you pour that into yourself and make yourself a toxic carrier, almost like a super carrier, like these parties that the president and his cronies are having, poisoning the hell out of anybody who comes in contact with them. But this person, about 3 years ago, decided to never speak to me again. And guess what? I haven't lost 1 gram of weight. I haven't missed 1 millisecond of sleep. And I smile as frequently as possible. Not that person wasn't a good person or a cool person, but the same person don't even, they'll tell me, I love the Lord and Jesus and all that, but then you don't read your Bible because the Bible said only fools shun knowledge. But allow me to go back. I'm tired of seeing this thing of up and down, right and wrong. We are on a mission. The mission is freedom. The freedom that we need to obtain is within our grasp, but we must work together. We do not have to work as a damn, we don't have to be a band. But what we do need to say is the goal is to get the Banneker. Or if you new school, Washington D.C. If you old school, is Banneker. But that's another story. I'm dropping these bread. That's why I keep shouting out Dr. Greg Carr and Professor Karen Hunter. I'm dropping these breadcrumbs because that's their term, dropping breadcrumbs. So in hopes for you to hear me say one or two things and it'll trigger something in you and you can educate yourself and it'll force you. What I'm trying to do is force you to hear something. And when you hear it, you go, let me look that up. Let me delve into that, because when I delve into that, it'll teach you how to educate yourself instead of holding on to these bromites and these pieces of information that a lot of people give. And then what they do is you lose because you're trying to repeat and regurgitate things that people who you perceive to be intelligent keep spouting off about. And when somebody press you for, or they ask you for the very next step, you get angry, frustrated, or they say, see, I see how you are. That's not the way to go, folks. That's not the way you can be a learned person. That's not the way you will be an informed person. That's not the signs of true intelligence. Intelligence, folks, it's not being able to regurgitate a whole bunch of things that you read out of books. The true sign of intelligence is the practical application of that information that you have obtained. We can all read books and read quote stats and become a damn almanac. Anybody can do that. Anybody in the history of the world can recite information. Hey, I'm smart. But now, all the information that you have, what I'm going to need you to do is use that in everyday life. And then you'll become intelligent. Because, again, that's the sign of intelligence. How do you use this information? Now, repeating things, that sounds cute. I know. Like me, I can tell you who won all the Super Bowls. That don't make me a sportscaster. I can tell you when, why, and how certain teams are going to perform tomorrow. That does not make me a coach. All it does is mean I watched a whole lot of football in my life. But if you are going to use this information to enhance your soul and enhance your everyday life, then that's when you become intelligent, because the only way you can enhance something is to intake things, process it, and then put it to work. And that's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm saying. You could be a masculine, manly man, or you could be a feminist. But that is a thing that works with a scale. Your heart, like a scale. When you look at most scales, you see a heart and a feather. Because you must have a heart as soft as a feather to balance this thing out. Yeah, some women make men sick. Man, she get on my nerves. Some men are clowns and want to be bossy and turn their back on women. Yes, indeed. But the vast majority of us work in unison to make this thing called life work. And if you're not willing to do that, what we need to do is use the definition of jail in Africa. There is no definition in the original language of anybody on the continent. It's a banishment. It is a banishment. We're going to leave you alone until you enhance yourself, and then we'll welcome you back into the family once you've shown yourself to be pure. The reason I'm bringing this about is, again, we got these celebrities, we got these so-called experts, and nobody really says to the common man, myself included, what's the plan for us? Oh man, we need this. We need that. We got the plan for the contract with Black America. And we got the Platinum Plan by Jackass Jones. And we got the Joe Biden plan, or what is it? Lift Every Voice. And we got all this stuff. But you know what, man? The thing that you're truly in control of is everything around you. You control the people who are going to be around you. You control the energy that's around you. You control everything in the world that's around you. You control who you date, who you spend time with, who you have conversations with. And if those people are not fulfilling you or pouring into you and allowing you to pour into someone else, and it's a regurgitating thing in that fashion, then you are cheating yourself. If these niggas ain't no good, you are hanging around the wrong people, because first of all, you shouldn't be hanging around niggas. These bitches ain't shit. Again, you are picking the wrong people to hang around because you're looking for a shortcut. If niggas and bitches is what you're finding, you, my friend, are the toxic entity, because all the niggas are doing what niggas do, and all the bitches are doing what bitches do. And if you in the midst of them, maybe you one of them. And if that's not what you want, extract yourself, heal yourself, and then come and deal with the brothers and sisters like me and the rest of the good people. What we have to do, this is just HRap's opinion. I don't have no PhD in a damn thing. I graduated, thank you, Lordy. So don't think I'm some smart guy, okay? I'm no summa cum laude or magna laude, but thank you, Lordy. But here's the deal. This is what I came up with, and I think we as a community can use this, or you know what, guess what? Take my blueprint or my outline, erase some of the stuff that you don't want, add in some things you like, just do something. The mission begins Wednesday morning, first and foremost. I'm going to say that again. Everybody go on the boat today, Monday, and Tuesday. The real mission begins Wednesday. The reason the mission begins Wednesday, is because whoever gonna get that job, they got it already, right? In 2 years, we are gonna be replacing some senators. We're gonna be placing some people in the House of Representatives. And if you think, oh man, that's some BS, HRap, blah, blah, blah. This is one of the reasons I'm having this show today. We are gonna have a mini civics lesson. And this is another reason I'm going to drop crumbs. You go down the rabbit hole and educate yourself civically, because you need this information to be the best you for your. This is not, again, my demographic is people between about 35 and older. We're not doing this for us. We only got so much time left on Earth. We got about 35 summers left. If you got grandchildren, nieces, nephews, and younger cousins, this is why we need to do this. We need to create a village. First of all, allow me to take one step back. You hear the commander-in-chief consistently disrespect socialism. Scientific socialism is exactly what you are. It is, you are genetically predisposed to be that. It is a saying in Africa, I am because we are. That's socialism. This is what you are part of. Mobutu is the next saying. I am because we are. So when you hear people like this jackass and other damn fools go out here and diss socialism, that's because they don't want you working as a unit. And if you don't want to work as a unit, hey, look at what's going on around you. It's working alone, working for you. I doubt it. If you're part of my tribe or any tribe that is not well-to-do financially, working alone does not work well at all. So we must create a village. And with that village, you must talk to people that are around you. The way to create a village is this. You talk to the people around you and find out what they're good at. Again, I'm an immobilizer. I know how to talk to people. Hey man, I'm gonna need you to come on over here. You over here. I'm not an organizer. That's not my strong suit. So I need to talk. I need to get people in a circle, and then I need to talk to one of the homies or one of the sisters and say, hey, you are good. My homegirl, Ray Ray. Ray, you have a degree in how to run a non-profit. Well, me and you need to get together. I'm going to give you the plan, and you are going to organize it. And there are other people who have connections. I was talking to a good buddy today. I'm going to turn him into a friend. And he was talking about connecting. Talking to some of his connections about getting some of the things that me and him talked about up and going. You have people who work in the social work industry. You have people who work in philanthropic endeavors. You know people who work in finance. You know people who work in government. Get those people together. See, the African village works like this. There's a dude who can do the talking, and he might even be the attorney of the village. So when the police harass you, you go right to that dude's house, and he's going to help you. When you got somebody who works in social work, this person is trained on how to deal with people face to face, how to de-escalate things. Like the young brother who was murdered in Philadelphia by the police. Instead of calling the police, his mom could have called their sister and say, hey, what can we do? And she could have talked to him. It's a doctor in the village. The doctor could have said he's having a psychotic event. What we need to do is give him these, like the dude who I played at the top of the show, is, the Minister of Wellness, he's not a doctor, Daniel Jordan. I found out, not through him, but I found out through other channels, something that fights off depression is green apples. So we can talk to each other and enhance each other's lives. And use, as he states, the foods of the gods and food to change our moods, put us in a better state of mind, take some of this toxicity out of our body by reducing the intake of meat and things like that. See, when we use each other, we've created a village. This village is, thank you, this village is something that we have to construct. And then we hold each other to a specific standard. I'm listening to the brother Busta Rhymes on the show called Drink Champs today. It's a 4-hour episode, so of course I didn't get it done. Busta Rhymes spoke about the good old days. He talked about like when him and his buddies be standing on the corner blowing a cigarette. One of the homies' moms come through with some groceries. They grab the groceries. I remember that. You had to hide just the square or cigarette or your joint or whatever, put it out or whatever when the elders came through. It was a sign of respect. Those are the standards. Then we must educate each other on civics. That's what I was just talking about shortly, a little while ago. Civics are the most important thing. If you are going to stay in the United States of America, most of us have no plans on moving. This is our country. We built it, yada, 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 right? So if you have no plans on leaving, you need to learn how to work the system in order to put yourself in the best possible position. That is called civics. Understand that, no. This is why this election, let me tell you why this election is one of the most, it might be the most important election in the last 50 years. The reason it's so important is because we lead the world in health problems. And if the party of the Democrats lose, the president of the United States is going to remove the Affordable Care Act. You remove the Affordable Care Act, guess what happens? Pre-existing conditions, seeing how 4 million people have contracted the coronavirus, that's a pre-existing condition that has led to heart disease, kidney disease, lung disease, and others. So you're not going to be eligible for insurance anymore. The pseudo plan that your president has put out there leaves loopholes so insurance companies can say, no, you have a problem. A lot of us have high blood pressure. A lot of us have diabetes. Some of us have other illnesses that I'm not even going to speak about. So you're no longer insurable. So guess what? If you do get sick, what's going to happen? You can't afford to go to the doctor. Now you can't afford to go to the doctor. You poor, you sick. The following usually happens. You're dead. So not only that, this dude, Tim Scott, was on terrestrial radio bragging about how they're going to go for citizenship. What a lot of people haven't noticed, that they've deported a lot of people back to Haiti who were looking for asylum. They deported a lot of people back to Africa who were looking for the same thing. He also bragged that, and when people start to come here, we're going to ask them what their political position is. So what you need to do, if that's what you're going to do, I'm going to need you to go out there to Ellis Island and scrape all that bullshit from the bottom of the Statue of Liberty, because it means nothing. So while everybody's hollering and hemming and hawing about one or two things on the surface, these are the things that are brewing up under the water that is going to attack and potentially destroy you and your family. Because most people in our community eat pork. Most people in our community eat meat. Most people in our community don't eat enough vegetables, yours truly included. So, hey, these things are attacking you. This is what contributes to your cancer. This is what contributes to your high blood pressure. This is what contributes to your diabetes. These are the things. Meanwhile, McDonald's, Wendy's, KFC, Popeyes, they're flourishing and we're diminishing. Another reason, this is another one. Roe versus Wade goes right back into the Affordable Care Act. But what you don't realize is we're getting closer and closer to this country being melanated 51%. That means if they don't stack the courts and create laws and keep your black and brown asses out of the country, they will no longer be able to destroy you through the courts and through law, because it'll be more you than them. Then it's straighten up or ship out, and nobody wants to give up power without a fight. That's why you got the Proud Boys and the Ku Klux and the skinheads and all these dudes mounting up. But what you don't realize is not as many of them as it is of you. Because guess what? Those dudes don't like Italian. They don't like Greeks. They don't like Spaniards. See, they're so ignorant to the point to whereas they have not realized that they are outnumbered. But they tell you you're part of a minority class. Again, civics works in your favor. 1965, that is the Naturalization Act. 60s, also with the Civil Rights Act. See, these are the underlying issues that you must educate yourself on, and then you'll understand what's going on around you. Over 250 judges have been placed in place. So, that affordable amount, that 1993 crime bill that everybody argued about. So when you go to appeal your case, one of these undercover Proud Boys, or one of these undercover racists, or one of these undercover white nationalists, same thing, those are synonyms. They are sitting on the bench saying, nah, you need to stay your black ass in jail. You got a woman who intentionally called herself a part of a group, and they call women handmaidens, and they have no place in leadership. She's sitting on the Supreme Court right now. Had we gone to vote the midterms during Barack Obama's presidency, you would have other people sitting in that place. The irony is, it's a chance that had we gone to vote during midterms and taken over the Senate during the Barack Obama era, Kamala Harris might be a Supreme Court justice. Another reason you need to know civics, because these things will help you in the future. You don't have to see what we have to do as a community is stop having to like a politician. He's an employee. You don't have to like him. Just do what I say, or we're going to replace you. Again, this is a 10-step program. Step 1 is Tuesday. As a matter of fact, step 10 is Tuesday, and we count down. We have to be civically engaged. We have to understand who we're dealing with, and all politicians are crooked. We have no permanent allies. We only have permanent issues. Shout out to our ancestor, John Henry Clark. That is gospel. So you can continue to do this dance and pretend that these things are not happening, have these surface arguments and these crackers this and that. But if you ain't ready to head up, you better get in the game and work your number the best way you can. Period. The next thing, Wednesday morning, everybody needs to be finding out when the next city council meeting is, when the next alderman meeting is, when the next committeeman meeting is, all this stuff. We need to go to their websites and find out what their game plans are, right? The reason you need to do that is because you need to know what they said they were going to do for you and hold their asses accountable. We're not going to wait until the door's about to close. The door's wide open right now. And they need to roll their eyes every time your number pops up. Your phone number pops up in their phone. They need to be like, this one again. And they need to be annoyed when they see you. That's the only way this thing works. That's the only way this thing works. Because we have been, if you're going to stay here, and that's only if you're going to stay here, you need to engage, get involved, get into it, and make things work for you. As we say in the street, work your numbers. So understand what their platform is. Then, when you understand that platform, you, as I said, you've created this village. You should be going in the process of creating the village now or whenever. ASAP. As you're creating this village, you're also determining what your community needs. Simple things, if you don't know. Trash receptacles at every corner so the trash is not floating up and down your community every day. So now your community looks better. You feel better about where you live because it looks better. Wi-Fi availability to lower income people because our kids are at home learning. Where's all this parking ticket money and citation money going to? It needs to be going to every one of our young people so they can get laptops so they can do this e-learning. Then you need to be talking about having our young people on these Zoom meetings with counselors, guidance counselors, so they can decide what they're going to be. And you need to be pointing your kids in the direction of what they're going to be. There's no such thing as too young to be thinking about the future. Because when you in 5th grade or 4th grade, you need to be determining which high school. I don't know how it works in your high school, but in Chicago, you can test into any high school in the city. You need to be determining which high school you want your kid to go to because his dream is to do this, and this high school excels in that area. And if your school system doesn't allow that, you need to be fighting to get those programs into your kids' schools and your neighbors' kids and everybody. Be annoying. We have, oh man, Barack Obama didn't do anything for us. We ain't asked him for anything. He gave us exactly what we asked him for. And then that whole narrative about Barack Obama not doing anything. This dude, Donald Trump, has let like 6 people go. During the Obama administration, they let 1,800 people out of jail. 1,800 people. That's a minuscule amount of people, seeing how 4 million people went to jail. But when you listen to these TVs and listen, oh man, it's this and it's that, miss me. I'm 50 years old. I fractured a law or 2 in my day. I remember when the crime bill came down. I remember C. Dolores Tucker. I remember the alderman in my district, Walter Burnett. I remember all these people, Wallace Gator Bradley, all these people, Maxine Waters. All these people were crying for this. But you guys have allowed, a lot of people, I'm not going to say you guys, a lot of people have allowed the Republican Party to skate on this because it went through unanimously on the Republican side. And for all those who hate this guy, hate that guy, hey man, I know, I'm going to give you one example of what I'm talking about, why that crime bill was truly passed. I know a dude named Thad. That ain't really his name, but it's another dude that's like that, named Thad as well. But I know this dude named Thad. In the midst of this thing that we call the crack era and the crack epidemic, Thad got put in the trunk. In 1992, ironically. I've yet to see Thad again. I I've been standing next to somebody who got their brain shot out of their head in the midst of this crack epidemic. So everybody with this, oh man, they did this to us and this party, because let's just be honest, let's keep it funky. You set your ass at home and waited for people to do things instead of getting your ass out there and doing it. And the people who I can remember talking this same talk on the streets. And you know what people used to tell me? Oh man, go on with that black shit. I ain't with that black shit. I can remember being in a car with a homie, God rest his soul. He talked about black power from Chicago, Illinois, till we got to Paducah, Kentucky. I played Public Enemy, and he said, I don't want to hear that black shit. Put on some Mobb Deep. You see this? This is what I'm talking about. So you cannot complain about your conditions, and then when people present opportunities to pull you out of that, you don't want to engage. That's why I said create the community and hold people accountable. Y'all, if you listened to my show 2 weeks ago, you heard one of my homies call in. And I told him to challenge me. No phone calls. He said on live on air, oh no, man, I don't want to hold your feet to the fire. But what's the problem? If you are going to challenge, if you are going to expect change, everybody needs to be called out. Bring everybody out to the carpet, and whoever feet dirty, you need to, hey man, your feet dirty. This is not working. Period. That's the way it works. But we don't want to be held. We don't want people to hold. We don't want to hold people accountable. It seems, from my point of view, because they're gonna hold you accountable too. But I'm with the smoke. I don't mind. Whatever flaw I got, tell me about it. Because guess what? If you don't tell me it's gonna continue, and if it continues, we get nowhere. So create this community. We hold each other accountable, and we grow. No more of that, oh man, I can't tell nobody what to do with their money. Yes, you can if you put it in their pocket. Or, you know what? Correction. You can't. But you can't tell me what to do with my time anymore either. So if you talking against my best interest, I don't give a damn if I go out tonight after this show and win the fucking Powerball. Big Illinois is like he closer to me than my own blood brothers. And one of them in the damn chat room. No disrespect to him. But that don't make Big Illinois a millionaire because I am. He'll be taken care of as well as my brothers. But Big Illinois cousin. I got cousins that I don't know, that I don't communicate with. That's not fixing their lives. So when you say, I'm not going to hold somebody's feet to the fire because they got the right, well, you know what? You got the right to not dedicate your time to them as well. So we have to hold each other accountable. Scientific socialism. We are because we are, I am because we are Bantu. I mean, Ubuntu. We have to live in that frame of mind. Because guess what? The other way we've been trying it for 157 years don't seem to be working. It does not seem to be working. Now, I want people to understand this. I'll just continue to use myself. 1988, I voted for my first time. I did not vote for Walter Mondale, the Democratic option. I voted for George H.W. Bush. Because on paper, the Republicans made sense. I read all the pamphlets. This is my first time voting. It's going down. I'm big time. I was wrong as two left feet. But guess what? This is when you, Sankofa, you look back and you see what the problems were, because the problems that already happened are just going around the block. There's nothing wrong with being a black Republican, as long as you are a black Republican and not a Republican. And what that means is this. If you like the ideals of the Republican Party, as long as you don't sell out your community, do that. If that's the way you see it, do it. And then the people on this side, as long as we are, again, we have no common allies, we only have common issues. If you want to attack it from the Republican side, cool. And then you're going to come back and we're going to have conversations and we're going to decide, well, this is not what's good for us and we're going to do it. We're going to come as a collective, we can do that. But then you're going to have people on the other side of the aisle too. And they're going to work it the Democrat way. But again, since we are a community, we always will bottleneck back at the end, at the top of the bottle, have this conversation, go back down into the bottle, and you're on the Republican side, I'm on the Democratic side, and we are going to be fighting for the one cause, the greater good of us. No common allies, one common cause. Guess what? If you look back 12 years ago, they called it the Tea Party. They infiltrated the Republican Party with their own agenda, set the stage, and bam, here we are. We must do the same thing. You can have a different ideology, but if your goal is the advancement, hey, it's the NAACP, the National Coalition, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. And I know colored ain't what we call, but you understand. That's what you have to do. See, because I'm not aligning myself with no damn body. Nobody. Because while we yelling and screaming, the Republicans let Breonna Taylor's killers get away. No, they didn't. Newsflash, folks. The state of Kentucky is 52% registered Democrats. Daniel Cameron is a crony of Mitch McConnell. How the hell Mitch McConnell and Daniel Cameron is in office is beyond me. But it ain't. You didn't get your ass up and go vote. The blood of Breonna Taylor is on the hands of the people who set their asses at home and let this clown stay and get in office. Period. Period. That's how it works. So if you live in Kentucky and you listening and you're a registered Democrat and you didn't vote and you let Daniel Cameron get his job, get that job, you're why she's dead. If you didn't vote Mitch McConnell out 6 years ago, you're why she's dead. On the other hand, you see my man up in Minnesota, he doing this thing. It's a brother. He is on that George Floyd get down. First Muslim to be promoted to that position. I'm telling you, that shit is unreal. Unreal. But this brother is doing his thing up there, and he ain't about to allow the Breonna Taylor's cuss, because whether it was intentional or not, this brother is bidding for you. And if you don't have nobody bidding for you in the state house and the state representative and the state's attorney's office or anything like that, then guess what happens? You and only you get smashed. Because everybody else got things in order. Everybody else got things in play. And they saying, well, we gonna do what we need to do. Period. But we're not strategically fighting that fight. We are complaining laterally. We can no longer complain laterally if we want success. Period. No more complaining to Gigi. No more complaining to Shelly Q. No more complaining to Joe from Houston. We're going to get together as groups. We're going to create petitions. And we're going to send it to these representatives. And we're going to make phone calls. We're going to send emails. And if you don't respond to us, you will be one of us. And we will find somebody in the midst of us who can do the job. Find out what your community needs create committees on each block. It's really, they're doing it on Zoom now, so you don't really have a reason not to be in play. Another thing, most people who are listening to me have a strong connection with the Creator. Most of us. Oh man, Jesus, you know, you can quote scripture, you go to church every Sunday. I got one question. Where in the hell are these damn churches who used to be the spearhead of the movement? See, I know where they at. I almost said 2003. W put in place, George H.W. Bush, if you don't know who W is, put in place an initiative for churches to get sponsorship via the federal government and funds and things of that nature. The Republican Party put a lot of money into the churches. And a lot of these churches that we go to that are silent during the George Floyd situation, the Trayvon Martin, the Philando Castile, they are dead ass silent because they got their money coming in. How many of these preachers are sitting at the top of these pulpits and voting for Republicans because they don't want their money to stop? Where you at, TD? Now, see, you can't endorse a particular party because you're a 501c3 non-for-profit organization, but you can let these people come in your church. You can speak to things. I know the brother Reverend Jeremiah right here in Chicago, he ain't having none of that. Bernice King ain't having none of that. Father Flager ain't having none of that. I can't think of this pastor, and I know Knox on in Jersey. He ain't having none of that. The four Sorries in New Jersey ain't having none of that. But where all these super preachers, Jakes, and this dude Meeks here, and it's a couple of them here in Chicago, and down in Atlanta, Queflo, where they at? Because last time I checked, Abernathy, King, Aretha Franklin Daddy, and a bunch of other people. Powell, but you know, people don't really want to rep Powell. The Powell name is real shaky, but at the end of the day, these brothers were at the forefront of the movement. You're not gonna treat my people this way. They wasn't letting no misinformation get out. They were telling you what was going on. But where are they now? Get you a different spiritual leader if your spiritual leader ain't trying to move the people in the right direction. See, that's where we used to meet up. That's where we used to get things resolved. That's where we used to get into it. And now, they just some dudes with some nice cars and nice suits talking that jibber jabber, preaching that prosperity foolishness. They ain't helping us. Then, find out who up for re-election in 2 years. We need to stand on their necks. The Divine Nine, the Masonic Order, hell, the GDs, the Vice Lords, the Crips, and the Bloods. We need to be asking for things. Like everybody want to do this crime bill, like crime is synonymous with being black. I mean, criminal justice reform. Most of us don't go to jail. Most of us are not criminals. So why do you attach criminal justice rehabilitation to me? But since you want to attach it to me, the people who are in office and the people who are about to be in office, how about this? You need to reinstitute trades in the penitentiary. Since you want to herd our asses in there, I need to come out with a skill so I won't increase on the recidivism rate. You need to help me get my GED. You need to help me come out with a trade. You need to abolish all these clown ass laws talking about if I learn how to cut hair in the penitentiary, barbers can't have criminal backgrounds. Why the hell can't a barber have a criminal background? What the hell is he gonna do? But this is to make sure he goes back to jail. Another thing, since y'all want to run criminal justice at us so much, how about this? If I go to jail, get out, and be done with my parole, by the time I'm done with my parole, you need to be removing this from my name. Because quote unquote, I have paid my debt to society. That felony conviction shouldn't follow me around for the rest of my life. Now, in the event that I go back into criminality and the felony has been removed, then I can use your background against you. We need to go to Pennsylvania. The homie Wallow. If y'all don't know who Wallow and my man Gilly the King is, look him up. $1 million worth of game. It's funny, it's engaging, and Wallow be dropping jewels. Follow Wallow's 367 or 369 on Instagram. Good brother. This brother spent 20 years in jail. He has another 20 years on parole. How fucking idiotic is that? Oh, because he got 40 years in jail, so he got to do 20 years on parole. Are you outside your damn mind, man? We need, if y'all want to talk about criminal justice reform, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. I'm looking at the homeboy. Mad respect for him. Tariq Nasheed. Mad respect for Tariq Nasheed. Salute, brother. I'm looking at other people. Looking at ADOS. African descendants of slaves. First of all, we are African descendants of American descendants of captured Africans. Slave is not a it's not a determination. But ADOS, what we need to do is come to grips with the reality of the situation. We are Africans. We need to unite with African nations. Guess why? Not because I'm on this pro-black kick, fight the power, yada, 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 yada. This is why. Within the next 5 years, there will be more people living in the country of Nigeria that look like you than live in the entire country of the United States of America. If we get these people who we want in play, shout out to Dr. Greg Carr, what we need to do is this. Tear down some of these barriers for dual citizenship. Why do I want dual citizenship in these countries, HRap? You know why? Do you know Breonna Taylor's family got $12 million for her murder? But that white woman who was killed by that brother from Senegal, her family got $20 million. You know why? Because she is an Australian native, and the Australian government said, y'all better do something or y'all gonna have to deal with us. So, if you have dual citizenship and your name is Trayvon Martin, or your name is HRap B, Brian Williams, and you get murdered, and I'm a dual citizen in Ghana, the people at the consulate of Ghana is gonna go downtown Chicago and say, Miss Lightfoot, y'all better be on it. Mr. Priska, y'all better be on it because one of ours got hurt. See, learn the lick, learn the law, learn the situation, and make it work for you. See, and then you got a Nigerian passport, you got a Guyanan passport, you got a Botswanan passport, and you got an American passport. You go wherever the hell you want to go. But I'm a citizen of the world. And if you think this is nonsense and jibber jabber, great ancestor Paul Robeson suffered the same thing. He got caught up in the McCarthyism because Paul Robeson, he could sing, he could dance, he could act. He going around the world, and they pulled him into Congress and said, "What's the deal? You must be a communist." He said, "I'm a citizen of the world. My grandfather was a slave." So the debt that you trying to charge him with was paid for with the blood of my ancestors, and they stripped him of his passport and restricted him from being here. So all these racists and all these xenophobic people and the Proud Boys, they claim they don't want you here and they don't like you, but it's a play called The Day We Didn't Show Up. The weekend we didn't show up, I think. Day weekend, but you get the premise. And it's about if black people just packed up and went to another country. Or as much as they hate Latinos, Latinx, as much as they hate brothers and sisters, if we left, this motherfucker would crumble. So, if you don't have no plans on leaving, come up with a plan to make staying here as comfortable as humanly possible. Period. You can live where you want to live. You can do what you want to do, but you need to be working towards the betterment of the team. And the team is the number one priority. Period. We can argue and fight over this. We can argue and fight over who right and who wrong when all of this is done. The next thing. Remove celebrities from the center of our personal situation. No more Ice Cubes and T's, Kanye's, and none of them. If you're not fully engaged with the process, I'm going to need you to shut the hell up. Yeah, you got the plan and this, that, and the third. Hey, bruh, no disrespect. I'm supporting you. But guess what? W.B. Du Bois, 100 years ago, he had that plan. Whitney Young, 60 years ago, he had that plan. Huey P. Newton, the Black Panther Party self-defense, they had that plan. Shirley Chisholm, she got that plan. And it's more detailed. See, again, when you work together, you can get something done. Because Brother Q, has you talk to one of the people I hear you quote frequently, Dr. Claude Anderson, you could have went to the Hazard Foundation and you could have been the face of it, and Dr. Claude Anderson could have answered the hard questions. Yeah, and I heard boys say you talk to him and this, that, and third, but you need to be working with him because he got 60 years in the game or 50 years in the game, man. Work together or they will tear us apart. Puff Daddy, now you want to step out and oh no, vote for Biden. But look, bruh, you a fraud. But I'm not. This is not the dump on Diddy show. This is not that. But these celebrities, if you ain't engaged like a Killer Mike, like a David Banner, I'm gonna need you to be quiet. I'm gonna need you to be quiet because they got boots on the ground and they doing things. Every time you listen to the David Banner podcast, download him. He ain't no. I'm not one of his competitors. He ain't worried about me, and I ain't worried about him. Period. It's a team effort, man. One team, same dream, homie. But these Johnny come latelys who come along at the 11th hour, it ain't even the 11th hour, it's 11:45 and you show up. There's nowhere, no way, there's no place in the world where you can show up unannounced 15 minutes before something happens and get something done. I don't give a damn what your celebrity status is. Because guess what? That thing that you're arguing about, my brother Jackson, Mitch McConnell was holding it up on his desk. And then you meet with somebody who was talking about Juneteenth being a holiday. Hey, bro, we all got sick time at our jobs. If we want Juneteenth to be a holiday, we'll make it one. Don't tell me about $500 million. Where's he going to pull that money out? Clean out his ass? Donald Trump going to get a black community $500 million. Who the hell he going to get it to, bro? Who he gonna get it to? How's he gonna allocate these funds? So now we gonna all run the 23andMe, and then we gonna find out who is what and what is who? Stop it. You mean the same dude gonna give you $500 million or talk to you about giving you $500 million? The same dude who don't want to extend the stimulus package for our brothers and sisters for this funky ass $600? That's the dude you working with? Come on, bro. You better than that. And I'm not finna get on here and slander him. My point is, we need to remove these uninvolved, uninformed people. 50 Cent. Listen, look. This is how you know somebody's on the tape. And again, I'm trying not to put mud on their names, but Lil Wayne goes and takes a pitch. 50 Cent say, I'm voting for Trump, and then he walks it back. Shout out to RC. He walked it back. I ain't going for the walk back because guess what? The damage is done, man. The toothpaste is out the tube. But he walks it back, and then Lil Wayne takes a picture with Trump, and 50 Cent tweets out, I wouldn't even do that. Oh, but you would take the money to do the other thing. See, that's how I read into it. Loose change. That's how I read into it. You'll take the money to do the other thing, but you ain't going to go out. Stop, man. This is why if you're a celebrity and you haven't been involved for 10, 12, 13 years, I ain't trying to hear you. And this is why I continue to attempt to drop these breadcrumbs to my brothers and sisters who listen to my show so we can do our own research, we can be educated, and we can make our own informed decisions. You are from awesome stock. To quote the great Marcus Messiah Garvey, what Africans have done, Africans can do. I'm going to say it again. What Africans have done, Africans can do. So there are no limits to what you can do. We created HBCUs. We created the Colored People Conference. We created a million one things. Benjamin Banneker, through DNA, figured out how to make a clock out of wood. The first standing clock in North America was made by a brother, and he did it through his grandfather, who he never had a conversation with. The ancestors work through you and I every day. Told a young brother I bumped into today the same thing. He told me, man, I just had a son, man. I say, good one, young brother. I said, I want you to take at least 10 minutes every day and be quiet. Don't say nothing. Turn your phone off. Turn your TV, radio off, and just sit in the room and be quiet. And let your ancestors guide you through parenthood. See, I didn't do that. But I'm here to tell him that. Your ancestors talk to you every day. Every day, I have affirmation of an ancestral connection every single day. I think to myself, I talk to the Creator, I do this, I do that, and then I look up and this person is saying this to me, or I get affirmation from a video that I'm watching that I've never seen before, or a family member called me, or a homie called me and say yada, 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 and I'm like, damn, this is exactly what I was thinking about. That is your ancestral connection. You are being shown how great you are every day in television and movies. But what you have to do is accept the fact that your culture has been removed from you, and that is the ancestors and the Creator working in unison to reconnect you so you won't make the same mistakes again. Sankofa, looking back at your past to move forward. Ubuntu, I am because we are. These are the things that we have to focus on, folks. And last but not least, before I shut it down, we must get our young people involved. There is no such thing as too young to do anything. We see young brothers and sisters, oh, she's 12 years old and she's going to college. That's because our parents poured into her. Oh, man, like, okay, let me give y'all an example. Man, Kobe Bryant was so smart. You know, he spoke 3 or 4 different languages. This is the only country that people can only speak one language. Most people on the continent speak French, their native tongue, and English. That's 3. And Dikembe Mutombo, an NBA player, can speak about 8 languages. So it is not a measure of your intelligence. Paul Robeson traveled the world as an adult, singing to people in their language. He knew dozens of languages. There are over 15. Okay, on the continent, there are 53 countries. Those fake-ass borders created by white colonizers, European colonizers, because white is a made-up construct. There's no white people. That's not a thing. Nobody's white. We're not black. We're humans. So the whole white thing, the whole race thing is a made-up construct for people from Europe to exert power over you, to separate you, to make you different than somebody else. Now, those borders are fake, but 53 countries on the continent. There are over 1,500 dialects and languages on the continent. And somehow, for millions of years, these people have not destroyed each other up until they were colonized. So, if you can teach a child 3, 4, 5 languages, you can teach a child English immediately. You can teach a child how to write immediately. My sister Phyllis, by the time I got to 1st grade, I could write a letter. My sister, not a teacher, a person who was 5 years older than me, got tired of me asking her to help. She had a pen pal. I was like, hey, let me read that to me. She taught me how to read and she taught me how to write. She does not have a degree. We talking about, I was 5, she was 10. So if a 10-year-old could teach a 5-year-old to write and read, because she got sick of me asking her, read this to me, read this to me. So she started giving me her homework and walking me through her homework. So when I walked into first grade, I knew how to construct a paragraph. I knew how to write a letter. Shout out to my fucking sister, Phyllis Williams. So, not to diminish these young brothers and sisters who are in college at 12 or 14, but your kids can do the same thing. Your computer, your mind, the computer that I'm talking to you through now, that all of us have in our houses, is constructed after our brains. I'm going to say that again. The computer that's in your house is a duplicate, a carbon copy of your brain. If Benjamin Banneker can be handed a watch, look at the parts, and construct a clock with no formal education, why can't you do the same? Let's miss me with these restrictions that we put on ourselves. Let's go back through the plan. Create a village. Get to know the people in your neighborhood. Get to know the strengths and the weaknesses of those people. Allow those strengths to be highlighted by your assistants. Being at the front does not mean anything. Being at the front of the line means nothing. Oh, it's me. I put it together. So what? So what? Allow other people to shine. Allow their gifts to lead the way. Because guess what? Like I told y'all, I'm an immobilizer. I'm not an organizer. I got friends who are organizers. My man, I ain't gonna say his name because y'all you'll make it. I got a homeboy who live in Arizona. He's an organizer. My homegirl, Ray, who lives here, she's an organizer. So I put those people together in the room. They smarter than me in regards to that, and I'm gonna do this. But when it comes time to shine, it might be Knox who need to be in the front of this. And we all take a step back, let Knox do his thing, and then we get success. That's creating a village. Set standards. Hold your friends and family and your neighbors accountable for those standards. You're not going to smoke weed on my corners. You're not going to be out here acting a fool all night long. Because we got to get up and go to work. If you want to be out here, you need to find some place to be. You're not going to be disrespectful to these seniors. When you see a senior with a bag, you're going to introduce yourself. You're going to say, my name is Brian. I live at this house. Let me help you with my bag. My mother is this person. My father is this person. We're going to educate ourselves on how this wicked ass system that has been oppressing us for more than 400 years, we're going to figure out how it works. And we're going to invade this system no matter how you feel, whether you're a Jehovah's Witness, if you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're a Buddhist, you're part of the group. Leave your personal agenda at the crib. This is for the betterment of the tribe. We're going to get to know these candidates and hold them accountable to what they put on their websites and the lies and the propaganda and the pontificating that they've done while they're getting these jobs that we are hiring their asses for up until Wednesday. And we're going to sweat their ass. We're going to be on their ass like funk on a bum. Then we're going to find out who needs their job on the next time. And we're going to sweat them even harder. Because you owe us. Because we let you live for 4 years already. You had a free ride for 4 years. We own your ass into 2022. And if you don't act right, you're going to be looking for a job, buddy. We're going to remove these celebrities. And we're going to put people that we know and trust in those places to speak for us. If you're a celebrity who's been putting in the work, Shout out to the elder Harry Belafonte and people like that. Yeah, you can stay. But these Johnny Come Latelys, Kanye West, a dude who openly admits he does not read, Ice Cube, Johnny Come Latelys, nah, bruh, you at the back of the line. You behind HRap, homie. You behind me. You got to talk to me in order to get to the front of the line. I don't give a damn how much money you got. We're going to get our young people involved in this because this ain't about us. It's about them. We are not going to be here in 30, 40, 50 years. Your child, your grandchild, your little cousin, your niece, your nephew, your neighbor's kids. This is what we're doing this for. Because when they see you do, they do. You drink because you saw older people drink. You might blow a joint or something because older people blew a joint and you liked it. You might do whatever you do. You saw somebody else do it. They programmed it in you without even trying. So we going to teach our kids how to be responsible too. Or we going to all get our passports. We going to go up there and hang out with J-Ron in Canada. And then we going to turn Canada out. If that's not your plan, then understand what you got to do. With that being said, thank y'all for listening. This is Built for This Network. Tomorrow, Raider gonna be on, then D-Gray gonna be on in the evening. Number one Chief Rocker Jersey Vern gonna be on Monday morning. Please support. DJ Knox gonna be on Tuesday afternoon. I'm gonna be on with Joe from Houston and Big Illinois Tuesday evening. Rare Beauty comes on after us, and Gigi and Mandela come on after them. If you can't catch them all, catch one of them. Wednesday, my man D-Grade come back on. Then the brother Deacon Dale comes back on, my man. And then Big Illinois, myself, Kim, and Anu will be on. Thursday, me and D-Grade gonna be breaking down Enslaved. Please watch that to enhance your spirit. And then we gonna figure out another show with y'all, all of y'all, our Facebook friends. Me and D-Gray gonna figure out another show. We gonna do Enslaved, and we gonna figure out something else to talk about, whether it be old or new. Maybe we'll even engage in what my man Big Illinois said about the top horror movies. It ain't just about spirituality. We gonna have some fun too. Then Friday, DJ Knox and Big Illinois late at night. DJ Knox got the energy mix. Big Illinois got the smooth grooves. Lisa and Dale Saturday early. And then in 166 hours from now, 65 and a half hours from now, your man will be back on. Tonight is daylight savings times, brothers and sisters. Don't forget to set your clocks back. This is the first time we did need another hour a day in this funky ass year. I want y'all to listen to this next thing I'm finna play. Shout out to the homie Reggie O'Shea, a.k.a. Comeback Jack. I say this every week. Dream those dreams and man up and woman up and live those dreams. Because life without dreams flows in black and white. And life with dreams flows in technicolors and the surround sound. Thank y'all for tuning in for Built for This Network. Continue this Black Speaker movement. Here goes something else. Here another gem for y'all, man. Thank y'all for the support. This your man HRap B. 2 fingers, 1 word. I'm out.
I know thy works, and tribulation, and poverty, but thou art rich. Welcome to the Black Excellence and Abundance Channel.
When we think about the Wild West, most of us probably think about the scenes we've seen depicted in old Western movies and TV shows. There's a noticeable lack of diversity in nearly every Western film. But the real Old West is estimated that a quarter of all the cowboys were black. Black cowboys in the American West accounted for about 25% of the workers in the range cattle industry from the 1860s to the 1880s. It's estimated that anywhere from 5,000 to 8,000 black cowboys were part of the legendary cattle drives of the 1800s. Despite the lack of black images, black men did in fact handle cattle, tame horses, work ranches, encounter outlaws, and star in rodeos. Typically, former slaves and free blacks had skills in cattle handling and headed west at the end of the Civil War. And in Louisiana, there's a historical connection, one that goes way back, even before the first Acadians arrived in the region more than 250 years ago. We're talking as far back as 1680s, close to 340 years. The Creole cowboys, some of these cowboys were free and others were slaves. But no matter their position in life, there's a good chance these men may well have been the first cowboys in the United States. Yes, the first cowboys in a young country could have and most likely were black. Initially, the whites were called cowhands and the blacks were called cowboys as a derogatory term. Like every other thing that we do, the brothers made it cool. Hence, the name cowboy stuck. The black cowboys were typically assigned to handle horses with poor temperaments and wild behaviors, and this was a career known as horse breaking. The black cowboys also held several other positions on the trail. They were chefs, hunters. They hunt deer and wild turkeys. They also performed on the trail and usually sang or played a musical instrument. Others would often serve as bodyguards or money transporters, which has been attributed to the unlikelihood of thieves searching a black man for large sums of money. The following is a brief look at some of the most iconic cowboys in history and one cowgirl.
Nat Love was a former slave who went on to become one of the most prominent black men of the West. Love grew up in Tennessee, where he learned how to read and discovered that he really had a gift with horses. He traveled to Dodge City when he was a teenager and found cowboy work on cattle drives. He became a crack shot out on the trail and earned his original nickname after driving a herd of cattle to the railhead in Deadwood, Dakota Territory. He entered a rodeo on the 4th of July in 1876. Enticed by the $200 prize money, he won the rope throw, tie, bridle, saddle, and bronco riding contest. It was at this rodeo that he claims friends and fans gave him the nickname Deadwood Dick. Bill Pickett was a prominent performer during his time. Born December 5th, 1870, Williamson County, Texas. He was a rodeo cowboy and he actually invented the bulldogging technique, which became known as steer wrestling, a running steer to the ground. Pickett was descended from American Indians and Native Black Americans in the Southwest. He grew up in West Texas, learning to ride and rope as a boy, and became a ranch hand. He performed simple tricks, rides in towns on weekends, and in 1900, he became a showman. Sponsored a local rodeo promoter in 1907, Pickett signed with 101 Ranch Wild West Show, becoming one of its star performers and assuming the status of a legendary figure for his masterful handling of both wild and domestic animals.
For bulldogging or steer wrestling, he perfected a technique of jumping from his horse, grabbing the steer around the neck or horns, sinking his teeth into the animal's lips, and pulling it to the ground. Pickett performed until 1916, and he later appeared in the silent films The Bulldogger in 1921 and The Crimson Skull 1922. He was the first black cowboy honored in the National Rodeo Hall of Fame.
Stagecoach Mary Fields. Mary was born into slavery on May 15, 1832 in Tennessee. She was a 200-pound plus, 6 feet tall, strong, short-tempered, tough, heavy, two-fisted, drinking, cigar-smoking woman who packed a pair of 2 6-shooters and an 8 to 10 gauge shotgun. She wore men's clothing under a dress and apron because of the extreme cold weather. After the Civil War, she worked at a convent called the St. Peter Mission as a freight hauler. There, she performed a close relationship and provided protection for the nuns at the convent. She became known as Black Mary. She was always heavily armed. She helped them build a school through 8 severe winters in which she did all the hard work. Although Mary was rough, she was kind-hearted. Mary found a job as a mail carrier for the U.S. government. She was the second woman in the U.S. to become a mail carrier. Mary never missed a day on the job, working no matter what the weather and no matter how rugged the terrain. Through bitterly cold, wintry blizzards to sweltering summer heat, Mary, unlike many, delivered mail to remote miners, cabins, and other remote outposts, which helped in the land claiming process. Thus why she became known as Stagecoach Mary. These efforts on Mary's part helped develop Central Montana, an achievement which she is given little credit for. She retired from mail delivery, and at the age of 70, she opened her own laundry business.
Stagecoach Mary was an entrepreneur, businesswoman, roughest, toughest black cowgirl in the Old West. She is one of the reasons why the U.S. Postal Service developed the reputation to deliver the mail through rain, snow, sleet, hail, earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, natural disasters of all types. She went to work every single day.
Bose Eichert is best known for participating in the cattle drives on the Goodnight Loving Trail. The Goodnight Loving Trail was a trail used in the cattle drives of the late 1860s for the large-scale movement of Texas Longhorns. He grew up in Mississippi, but after the Civil War, he found work as a ranch hand. In 1999, he was inducted into the Hall of Great Westerners. In 1979, he was inducted into the Texas Trail of Fame. And in 2002, Bose Eichert had an elementary school in Weatherford, Texas, named in his honor. His incredible life inspired the character of Dietz in Larry McMurtry's novel Lonesome Dove.
Joshua Dietz was portrayed by Danny Glover in the TV miniseries Lonesome Dove. In 1989.
John Ware. Ware was born into slavery in South Carolina, but moved down to Texas after the Civil War. There he learned all the skills needed to become a cowboy. He worked on cattle drives from Texas all the way up to Canada, and even helped boost the ranching industry in Alberta. Not only did he have his own ranch, but he also wowed crowds by performing in the Calgary Stampede. It's been rumored that he was never thrown from a horse. He went on to become one of the most respected men on the Canadian frontier. Bass Reeves. Reeves was not only a lawman, but he was the first black deputy U.S. Marshal west of the Mississippi. Throughout Arkansas and the Oklahoma Territory, he apprehended over 3,000 criminals, and he is the inspiration for the Lone Ranger. Please see our video dedicated to Mr. Bass Reeves.
These are just some of the unsung black heroes of the Old West. During that time, the rodeos were like the sports of today. They did not have basketball or football or baseball, but these black cowboys dominated the rodeo shows as that was the sport of the day. The pioneering cowboys of the past have left a legacy that is carried on to this day by groups like the Compton Cowboys. The New York Federation of Black Cowboys. The Black Cowboys of the Mississippi Delta. The Creole Cowboys from Louisiana, the original cowboys in this country. And let's not forget about the cowgirls. The sisters represent. There are groups like the Urban Black Cowboys and many, many others to this day. The Black Cowboys still ride to this day. African American Cowboys, the forgotten man of the West? Nah, not on this channel. We remember the legacy of the legendary Black Cowboys and Cowgirls. The Black Excellence and Abundance channel, where Black history is every day.
Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, thou art rich.
We are built for this network, for the strong, not the weak.